with all three competitors in the ring. There is no champion's advantage whatsoever in this match. First man to gain pinfall or submission will become the United States champion, the championship that is currently being held up for everybody to see by WWE official Ryan Tran. LA Knight has got that X factor on his side in this match. LA Knight has been just been an incredible champion. He has taken on everybody, and now he's going to let Carmelo Hayes and Andrade go at it. Let them have their beginning match as Game 8. We can consider this Game 8 between these two. And LA Knight is very smart to not waste any time, to not take any unnecessary damage, but Andrade realized LA Knight was just standing there, and LA Knight is in the middle of Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Lefts and rights for Hayes and El Idolo. The WWE fans here in Riyadh are loving the megastar LA Knight. Double kick to the champion. Now Knight is taken out of the equation by both challengers. And this is what I'm talking about. You do not, as the champion in a triple threat match, you don't have to be pinned to lose your championship. If either one of these men can get the upper hand on the other, they can pin the other to become champion. And LA Knight won't know that he lost the title until he gets back up. Flying forearm by Hayes, but instead it's LA Knight to pull Hayes out of the ring. Hayes was trying to go after Andrade over the top, but instead LA Knight seizing the opportunity to now go after Carmelo Hayes, taking Hayes out of the equation. That's what you have to do. You know, with triple threat matches, as I mentioned it throughout the night, you have to be careful about all these different X factors in the equation. With any type of multi-man match, that's what you have to worry about. Because what you want is ultimately to have a one-on-one match. You ultimately want to work towards DDT. LA Knight takes down Hayes, but it's Andrade who breaks the cover. And a jawbreaker from Andrade. Andrade trying to turn things around. We've seen this before. Inverted Spanish fly. We've seen that before by Andrade. And now here comes LA Knight to try and take advantage. But it's Andrade who's starting to build up some momentum with a forearm to LA Knight. And now Andrade kips back up to his feet. Andrade is fired up here in Riyadh. Andrade, a third-generation superstar from Mexico. A former United States champion, former NXT champion. And Andrade has Knight and Hayes right where he wants them. Double knees for Hayes. But LA Knight gets back up, goes after Andrade, but Andrade sends LA Knight up and over to the outside onto the floor as Andrade makes his way up to the top. What? Instead, Andrade fooling everybody, instead going for the moonsault, taking out LA Knight on the outside. LA Knight was not prepared for that whatsoever. Over the top, incoming, a him missile from Hayes. Hayes goes after Knight, but Knight rolls out of harm's way. Boot, thinking BFT, but countered by Hayes. One for the kick. Great counter by Hayes. One for the backdrop. Lands on his feet. BFT sent into Andrade. That giant heavy back elbow. Double knees into the senton on LA Knight. And now sends Andrade on Knight. And now a double cover to become United States champion. Both men get the shoulder up at 2. Carmelo Hayes was cooking. Look at this beautiful moonsault by Andrade to LA Knight on the outside of the ring. And then the flip over the top by Hayes. And then Covering both superstars was Carmelo Hayes, and both superstars able to kick out before the 3. This fast-paced, energetic matchup has been an incredible match, to say the least. 3 of the most athletic superstars in WWE. What a destroyer by Andrade. Andrade connecting with a destroyer on him, Carmelo Hayes. Is it Andrade's time to capitalize on the situation with the champion and the other challenger down and out? Andrade looking to go high, looking to risk it all. That high risk, high reward coming up by Andrade. Andrade went for a moonsault with nobody home, but again able to catch LA Knight on the other side for the cover for the championship. But it's Carmelo who makes the save. And it's not, when it comes to these types of matches, it's not about assisting your opponent. It's every man for themselves. So what you want to do is save the match for yourself. There is nothing about saving the match for whether it's Andrade or saving the match for LA Knight or somebody saving the match for Carmelo. It's about every man saving the match for themselves. Because at the end of the day, everybody in this match wants to be the United States champion. That's why it's a United States championship match. You want to leave as champion. You want to cement your legacy in WWE. And LA Knight does not want to lose his United States championship. But Carmelo Hayes also wants to win his first championship here on the main roster. Will a big move like this pay off for Hayes? But Andrade with a counter. Beautiful counter by Andrade. And Hayes kicks out at 2. That's how close it can get. Andrade's so close to becoming the United States champion. But it's now LA Knight who's back up to his feet. And it's LA Knight who's up on the middle turnbuckle. LA Knight scouting it. Top rope, double elbow drop, taken out. Hayes and Andrade, and both challengers kicking out before the 3. And, that's what you have to do. You have to take risks like these. You have to go big or go home. You have to pull out all the stops. If you want to be champion, sometimes you end up in matches like these where everybody is so incredibly athletic and talented that you do have to dig deep, that you do have to pull out all the stops. And sometimes it means high risk, high reward. That's what you have to do if you want to be champion, if you want to prove you're that guy. Hayes with a kick to Andrade. And here we go. Here comes a little bit of risky business between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. But LA Knight almost cost him. Andrade down goes Andrade. And Carmelo Hayes has the perfect opportunity. And you can see the smirk on the face of Carmelo Hayes, realizing now could be his chance. Nothing but net to become champion. Oh, but Andrade just barely saving this match before the 3. Andrade spoiling what could have been the biggest moment in Carmelo Hayes' career up to date. And that frustrated Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes thought he had it won with nothing but net. But Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and LA Knight all want to be champion. Looking for the message, but instead, Carmelo Hayes drives Andrade to the corner. Super kick to Knight. Big boot from Andrade answering the call. Now going to drag Melo up. We've seen this before. Bounces the back of the head of Andrade off the top turnbuckle. Looking for the face buster. BFT by Knight. And Knight retains. Well, there's a reason LA Knight was United States champion in the first place. capitalizing on the perfect time to connect with that BFT. That's just how crafty the megastar can be. LA Knight has been doing this for so long. Sometimes you gotta dig deep. Let's take a look at the closing moments. Looking for that face buster, but instead, a BFT. Carmelo Hayes at the wrong place at the wrong time. But for LA Knight, it was right place, right time. And LA Knight is still your United States champion. With everybody saying LA Knight. LA Knight continues his reign as United States champion since winning the title back at SummerSlam. A tough loss for Carmelo Hayes and Andrade.